Hey everybody, welcome to Deeply Disgusted. And we're gonna react to a few of Charlie Kirk, rest in peace to him, one of the best communicators next to Candace Owens that I ever seen in my life. But we're gonna react to him ripping up these college students that hated him so bad. We're going to react to him ripping up these he, she's, and all these people that don't want to get married to the opposite sex. And we're going to bring back the values that our founding fathers created. Let's get to it. Welcome to the show. Let's go.
A poster and a visual here.
Oh, yeah, here's my visual. Hold on one second. And I have a petition. Raise your hand if you're progressive. No? We have one?
I love this school. This is a great school. I love this place. You don't have a lot of allies here.
It's going to be a tough crowd. Well, my name is Davin Damien. I am non-binary. I am here with the Alliance.
Hold on one sec. Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Guys, hold on one sec. So we outnumber, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Davin Damien.
Davin. We outnumber Davin. That's unusual on a college campus. However, let's do something that liberals never do to us. Let's give him, I think, courtesy.
He said him, I think. Yo, Charlie Kirk was funny. Charlie Kirk was fun. Yo, I feel bad for a lot of y'all that didn't really sit and watch and listen to him. I'm sad that I didn't even get to meet the man. Like, I wanted to meet him. You know, I wasn't too familiar with his name. You know, I'm bad with names. So bad with names. But you know what? I watched this guy like a hawk. Like a hawk. He was just like dope to me, intelligent. You know? But let's see what this non-binary, I think, whatever he is, we're going to see what he got to say.
Hey. Courtesy that we don't give them. How about that? Okay? So is everyone cool with that? All right. So let's not heckle, let's not interrupt. Let's be the ambassadors for freedom of speech. Cool? Okay, please continue.
I must say thank you. Thank you for that, Charlie. So I'm here with the Alliance of Male Feminists defending women's bodies. My main question is, why are you so obsessed with legislating women's bodies? It seems like you've made it your life mission to remove the choice of the woman. And
now, do this even look right to y'all? Do you have a man up here with sprinkles of tattoos on his body? It's like little sprinkles of tattoos. It's like, I don't know if I want a neck tattoo, but just give me a little sprinkle all over my body. And he's up here fighting for women's rights because in his brain, he thinks he's a woman. This is what we up against. In his brain, he's a woman. You can't tell him yes, and you can't tell him no. It don't matter if you're a man or a woman. He gonna give you attitude and sassiness. Because in his brain, he's lost. He's lost. But we're gonna see Charlie focus now. Look at him.
I just want to know why that is.
Okay, so your advocacy is male feminists for women's bodies,
Yeah,
right?
her body,
so,
her choice.
Got it. So maybe we can come to some common ground then. Before we talk about abortion, would you then agree with our position as conservative?
Yo, you can't be serious.
That biological women should not have to share locker rooms with biological men? Because your position is all about her body, her choice.
I think for the sake of argument, I'll say yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
So let me again give you a further example.
Okay.
Okay, He's a reasonable binary man. Okay.
So therefore, you would agree that in sports settings, especially youth sports, but all sports, Tennessee's own Riley Gaines, for example, when she went to go compete at University of Pennsylvania and had to share a locker room with a biological man, that was wrong because her as a female should be able to have a private space without men coming in there, right?
Frankly, I'm an old school feminist, and so when I think of all this trans stuff, I think it's kind of wrecked us a little bit, and so I don't think you'll trap me with.
He's an old school feminist. Yo, he ain't lying though. It's a lot of they don't talk up. They don't talk up because if they go against the community gonna go against them. They could mess around and go in a car and they go kaboom. They could go to their house and they will be burnt down. The community don't play. So with him saying that, he's very brave. I mean, it's a lot of old school, whooshy washers. That's what I call them. Or doodle chasers that they old school. They not really with this trans stuff, but they don't talk out because if they do talk out, it's gonna be kaboom for them.
That I think
I'm not
with you
trapping.
on that.
And by the way, I wish we had more people like yourself that were willing to speak out. So you deserve credit for that.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
Okay.
Now, so we did find common ground on that. So now I want to actually approach the issue that you came here. So you're accusing me of wanting to
Legislate women's bodies.
Okay, so do you mean legislate control over women?
Yeah.
Specifically with abortion?
Taking away her right to choose.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if I ask this question, the answer will be no. But you would say, does a mother have the right to kill her child?
Not kill, but what I'm trying to raise awareness right now is that we need to abolish child neglect laws because that forces women to use their bodies even with babies. Now, I'm not saying they should be allowed to kill babies, but I'm saying they should be allowed to let nature just take its course. For example.
What? You have a non-binary man. We don't know if he like a woman, a man, or a chicken. And he's up here telling us to get rid of child abusive rights when there's a lot of them that do sexual things to children. You see how they're out there like he is a guy that is G-A-Y. Right? He's a G-A-Y. He's a G-A-Y. He's a guy, a ass yeser, right? And he is talking about getting rid of the laws that protect children against them. He want to get rid of laws that protect children against people like him. He don't even realize that it's his people that do a lot of the stuff to children. You stay off.
I'm just saying,
That's why the crowd is laughing. They're like, what? We protecting them from y'all. Y'all are the weirdos that touch children. And you talking about you want to get rid of child neglect laws so you could go and neglect them?
we are saying that it's survival of the fittest. And what I'm saying is I think that the MAGA fascists, I think you all are winning.
You see this? He's arguing against get rid of laws. They want chaos. They want sex in the street. They want criminals running around. They want everybody just to be doing all type of stuff with all type of animals. You see what I'm saying? This is what they fight for. We're fighting against evil.
Because
In a pink dress.
you at least are trying to be consistent on the life issue. But what I'm saying is we need to be as progressive consistent. That's why I've got this petition here to get people to see that we must abolish child neglect laws if we're going to be consistent that it really is her body and her choice.
So I think you're doing a very good job exposing the hypocrisy of left. I could tell that this is a shtick, and I will say it's very effective, and I tend to agree with where you're trying to go. What he, they, them, whatever,
Davin.
is saying
Davin Davian.
is the following. which is to abolish child neglect laws, is the furthest extrapolation of a pro-abortion view. Which
That's consistent.
Of course.
Nowadays people just want attention, man. People just want like a group. They just want like to be accepted. Some people just want to be, they come from places where they are like, wow, you live in that town? Wow, you live over there. Like they come from these exclusive suburbs and they just want a story. They just want to be a story of a civil rights. Like I went through my own civil rights also. Everybody want to be down, everybody want to be, in a place where people want to chant for them. They want to be like in a place where they're asking for help or they need help, or those are the people that we need to help when they come from beautiful places, suburbs, families with money. This is a group of people that's also heavily in the Liberal Party. A lot of them come from money and they just depressed.
Of course, no, and I don't know what you actually believe, but your satire can sometimes lead you towards truth, and you should show like show the poster. What he's saying, in a way, is that in order for the left, he doesn't actually believe this. This is a shtick. Yeah,
okay,
got
if
it.
you say
Fine.
so.
Yeah, but what he's doing is trying to prove a point that if you are pro-choice, then therefore you should also get rid of child neglect laws, because it means you actually don't care for the baby, whether it be in the womb or outside of the womb.
We are forcing women to use their bodies.
Sure, got it. So, very good. Thank you, and best of luck with your petition.
Get out of here, you fool. Get out of here, you fool. Man, Charlie, man, rest in peace to you, man. Rest in peace to you.
Next question. Disagreements welcome, and that was quite a dialogue. Okay.
Liberal, a lot of liberals do not associate with that person, and that sounds rude, but I just want to say that that is not the stance of a lot of liberals. However, my statement / question is, would you agree / disagree that the Make America movement, Make America Great movement, again, MAGA movement, is a cult?
No. Why don't you explain to me and the audience what is a cult?
So Making America Great acronyms is a cult. Making an acronym that stands for Making America Great. It's a cult to people that live in America and do want America great or don't want America great. Let's see. They want America great. They want to stop a lot of marriages between men and women. They're encouraging he's to turn into she's, and less church is being promoted throughout the country. More crime, high taxes. I mean, name me a liberal city with low taxes. That's all making America great. Okay, no problem. Then, hey, I guess we're a cult then.
Cult.
Of course. Okay. Do you know any characteristics of a cult?
Sure. I mean, you could take the Jonestown death cult, of which there was a charismatic leader that constantly lied people, and they took them out of everyday normal life and leads them towards ostracization and cutting off of family ties. Am I getting closer to describing the Democrat Party?
According to the... No. What I'm talking about is MAGA. According to the Bethune Cook University website, characteristics of a cult include isolating members and criticizing them for leaving. Would you say that
She ain't bad though. She got a nice little belly button. She got a nice little belly button. She ain't bad. I mean, late night on the campus, I see her drunk. I'm in it. Late night, soon as she start talking that stupid liberal stuff, I'm just like, yeah, we'll talk about tomorrow. We'll get back to that tomorrow, okay? Right now, I got some work for you to do. You know what I'm saying?
Members of the MAGA movement will criticize others for leaving.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you guys criticize players that transfer out of the University of Tennessee football team. That's not a cult.
Okay, what about the absolute authoritarianism without meaningful accountability?
Yo, they don't even know what they talking about. Like, they come up here like reading things from a cell phone, like from some website. Like, what is this, like a liberal website that teaches you how to battle Charlie Kirk?
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that, like, what the leader says, the leader gets, basically?
Yes, Trump.
We have lots of disagreements in the MAGA movement. In fact, I'm more pro-life than the president is. In fact, a lot of people in this audience would have differing views maybe on where the president is at on Israel or Gaza or Ukraine or Russia. In fact, some people in this audience might say the president is not as pro-Second Amendment as they would like. I would argue that we actually have far more intellectual diversity in the MAGA movement than...
Yeah, and conservatives, whether you could be a conservative and not be a Republican. You know what I mean? Republican is when you actually, like, you know, you either stamped yourself as a Republican, or, you know, when you get that notice from the DMV and you put yourself down as a registered Republican. But you don't have to be Republican. You can still be conservative and not be Republican. I mean, the early colonization of blacks in this country, like the early times of black families. I'm not talking about when they came here as slaves, like, or, you know, I'm talking about, like, they was conservative. They was conservative. They was that. The blacks of today is not the blacks of yesterday. These are two different blacks. The blacks of yesterday, like, you see how a lot of these people talk about, our ancestors of American slavery, our ancestors of African slavery, our ancestors back in the 1950s and 40s and all this stuff. They will actually spit on them today if they seen them, because look at the neighborhoods y'all live in. Like, look what the culture y'all promote.
And your traditional Democrat Party.
I see where you're going with this and stating that not every person who, I guess, supports Trump is fully supportive of him, but I'm saying the MAGA movement who will agree with him no matter what.
Well, I actually think that there's more depth and complexity to the MAGA movement than you would imagine. A lot of people here who would consider themselves...
Yeah, we're not as simple as y'all. Y'all are a bunch of simple creatures over there in the Liberal Party. Y'all so simple. Y'all make the dumbest arguments, like the most stupidest stuff. Like, oh my gosh, they killed George Floyd. Who is he? I don't know who he is, but they killed him. I think he was a crackhead. He was black though. The media like, all right, we got us one. We finally gonna get back in the office. Let's just say this black man was killed heinously and just say he was a good man. That's why they run with things. That's how Trump lost the last election. The Liberal Party was like on a media rant. They was on a media rant, and we didn't have people like Charlie Kirk to really knock them on the head. You know, their power wasn't really effective at that time. But he perfected his craft, and he got Trump in.
Themselves be part of the MAGA movement. They won't blindly sign on to everything that Trump does. However, they will say that they agree with him 8 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times. And so I would say, though, you know what was a cult? What was a cult is what we lived during COVID. During COVID, and allow me to build out the argument that no matter what the CDC or Anthony Fauci would say, you would have the little talking heads on television parrot it back, no matter how insane it was. We must close the schools, 6 feet to slow the spread, wear a mask while showering. Okay, I made that one up. But, I mean, the point being is that far more had characterizations of what a cult would be than the traditional Make America Great Again movement.
Gotta. Oh, that's, man, listen, baby girl. Go back to your dorm. Put on something real nice and sexy, right? And put some high heels on, because I like high heels. And just wait there, and I'll be there around 11 p.m., okay? 11 p.m. I'll be there. I think that's the best thing for you, baby girl. This debating with Charlie Kirk is just not your thing, you know?
Bring this country together, of which is actually our goal here as part of the MAGA movement, which is why we have an open mic. If you go around accusing people as if we're following Charlie Manson.
You just did the same thing to me.
Well, in all fairness, I said, if this is the standard of our dialogue right now, the Democrat Party is far more of a cult than the Republican Party. That is not a contention that I throw around lightly, but it is, you satisfy the requirements way more than the MAGA movement does.
You haven't asked me enough.
That is so true. That is so true. That's when people say, like, Republicans, conservatives are cults. I'm like, where? Like, we don't even riot when things don't go our way. Like, we're a cult? Like, huh? What? Like, we're not even really on the media like that. Like, how are we a cult?
Questions to know that.
Well, that has nothing to do with what I've said.
Yes, it does.
She just looked like a spoiled little girl. That's all. Spoiled.
I mean,
You haven't asked me if I would blindly follow some leader of the Democratic Party, which is no. I would only follow if I do the in-depth research of an unbiased source to get my information, and then I base my opinion off of that.
Fair enough. Can you give me an example of an unbiased source?
These are chicks, too, that you get in a relationship with them and you don't agree with them. These are the type of chicks that end you. Like she looked like she would end you either physically or through the court system.
I mean, like Mayo Clinic or just like any EDU source of college information.
I like that belly button, though.
I'll end this. If that's your idea of a biased source,
Off the top of my head.
I would encourage you to dig deeper and be more of a free thinker.
And I will, and I am a free thinker. And I grew up in a conservative household. And once I left my parents and their beliefs, and I moved to college in
A lot of them do. A lot of them grow up in these conservative households and they go to college and it's like, what are you?
very conservative state, I actually become more progressive.
Okay, and so how is your relationship with your parents?
I mean, it's fine. We don't agree on most things, but
Wait, so they didn't kick you out for having a different opinion? They're terrible cult members.
Yo, he won the argument just like that.
Wait, they still love you for who you are? And
Wait, I thought they was in a cult. Wait, your family still loves you? They still care for you? Even though they're conservative cult members?
do they pay your tuition?
nope.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I pay my own tuition. I pay everything on my own.
well, good. Then they're even better parents. They make
Exactly. Look, she thinking about it now. You saw that look she had? Look.
you pay for your own stuff. The point. So you can't even point to your own family as being part of a cult. They still love you. They still talk to you.
I would go as far to say, and if they're watching this, I do believe that my parents are in a cult.
Wow. People who loved you and cared for you. You see what the Liberal Party would do to your mind? It will make you turn against people who love you and raise you and change your little stinky little diapers. Stinky, stinky, stinky. Look how she turned. What if her parents have a reputation in town of, established family? What if the father's a CEO of a major company? This is what they do.
But
Do you understand how damaging that is? To go around to say the people who raised you and nurtured you and brought you into the world That you're a cult because some professor
I never seen this before. I swear to y'all. I'm telling you. Look, even Charlie agree with what I'm saying.
told me the definition of a
Nope,
cult in an
nope,
anthropology
nope,
course.
Nope. You're wrong.
All right.
No, he's 100% right.
Thank
It
you
was
for,
nice to talk to you, though.
Thank you for your time.
A lot of these kids, man, they come from towns, boring towns. Trust me, I lived in them. Boring towns, and then they leave those towns and they go to college campuses and meet all type of people. They're fun, exciting. They come from different places. They into different things. You come there, you can see girls with blue hair. You see guys with green hair. It's like an exciting time, and it just consumes them because they come from a lot of these boring towns. And it's like, wow, I'm finally gonna have some friends and have fun. I love college. And then they just become super demented, which is AKA liberal. Thanks for watching. There's gonna be way more. Charlie Kirk, man, rest in peace to you, man. I like to thank the MAGA movement, Trump, and everything that got to do with bringing America up, and especially the stock market. See you later. Thanks for watching. Deeply disgusted.